Hey guys, Switch Boy Jay here back again, and this is going to be part 2 of the Crait building series. Now, we're going to show you 3 things in this video today. First, I'm going to show you guys a quick update on the ATM6. I was able to get a little bit more of the building done on that. Hopefully that'll be pretty exciting. It's panning out to be a huge build, so I mean, I don't know what I'm going to do when I actually have to build it in physical bricks. It's going to be a lot. It's already as many bricks as the AT-AT, and it's probably not even like 30% done. So it's going to be about a 15,000 piece build. But then also we're going to go and I want to show you guys what we've done so far on the build that we actually did. If you guys didn't see the other day, Garrett and I had a build stream where we were working on the MOC. We were interacting with you guys, which was really fun. We're going to try to aim to make that a weekly thing because it's such a fun thing to engage with you guys, and it kind of makes the build time go by a little bit faster, just because me and him have talked so much about Star Wars throughout, the amount of time that we've known each other. So it's nice to get a fresh perspective, nice to answer questions that you guys may have, and also just show you guys kind of how the build process works. So we're going to get into that as well, but then finally, we're going to come back here and I'm going to let you guys know what we're going to be working on next, some of the long-term goals of the MOC, and then hopefully that'll finish out the video. So without further ado, let's get into the good stuff, guys. Alright guys, this is a quick little update on the ATM6 build. I was kind of dreading having to build the second leg just because it'd be such a large mirror build of this first one. I think it's about like 2,000 pieces total, but I didn't have to do that. I actually found a program that would literally just mirror an LED build, so I just imported this left leg and put it in and it gave me the right front leg. So I was really happy about that. It saved me about 4 or 5 hours of my life, so I could just continue kind of working on with, the more important, new, original things in the design. But I'm really happy with the way it's looking. I was kind of scared about these front legs just because they had so many different types of angles and designs in them, but I think they came out pretty well for what I'd like to accomplish with this MOC. So hopefully you guys like it well. Let me know as well. Let me know what you think in the comment section about this ATM6. And then this thing's gonna be a beast, guys. It's already at you can see almost 7,000 pieces, which is already more than my mini fixed scale AT-AT. So it's going to be a beast. It's going to be a monster. My primary concern right now is with stability. I'm keeping that in mind when designing it and just making sure the structure of the leg is very sound. And hopefully it ends up working out. So that's pretty much going to finish up this one. Now let's move along to some of the things we did with actual bricks with the Crait MOC. Alright guys, now let's get into what we actually got done. Before we get into the big stuff, I just wanted to show you guys once more the minifigs that we've been making for this MOC. Garrett finally brought all these figures over so I could get a good shot of all the resistance guys that we have built so far. We're going to have to make a ton more because we're going to have to basically fill up the entire trench going across the MOC, as well as the little turrets that they sit in, and of course the base, there's going to be some guys in there as well. So we have a good amount, and the biggest challenge with this, because it'd be easy for us to just use, a bunch of the Rebel battle packs, or the Resistance battle packs that we have, as well as just the resistance figures in all the sets, and I mean, we could be done pretty quickly. We have probably enough standard figures. But the idea is to get them looking as diverse and not uniform as possible. We don't want to just reuse all the guys from the sets as they are, so we look for some unique faces, some unique headpieces, and stuff like that to make them look as not uniform and ragtag as the actual resistance look, just to kind of differentiate them a little bit. So as you can see, there's me and Garrett over there chilling with Boog Squad, and then we got a lot of the main characters up front over here. Of course, the Blu-ray is going to be coming out at the end of March, so that'll actually help a lot with trying to nail down a lot of those background characters who are in the film, but maybe don't get a lot of screen time or don't have any pictures up online yet. That'll help us with like recreating some of those guys, because where we can, we would like to try to have as many people that were actually in the film in our mock as possible. So that's just a little aside. But as for the bigger stuff, we were able to complete a decent amount, actually. We got done, obviously, we are pretty much almost done with these two squares right here, and then we started those two over there. And I'm really happy with the way this came out. I think it just looks great. With all the footprints going across. Some people are probably going to say, why aren't the footprints like uniform, like 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2? We started off like that, and if you saw on the stream, we ultimately decided that it looked too uniform, like they looked like a starting line almost, and it didn't really look natural. It didn't look like a mock. So we decided to go with this kind of pattern instead. It's a little bit more staggered. It's a little bit more random. But I think it looks more like footprints and gives a better overall aesthetic for the mock. So really happy with the way that came out. And also, some of you might notice that we have some stormtroopers in there as well. As far as we know, there were no stormtroopers on Crait. But I don't have a lot of my snowtroopers out of the box. A lot of them are still boxed in some sets in my closet. So until I get to those, these are going to have to do. All right, now let's talk about these unfinished sections in the corners over here, and as well as those over there. Now, we actually have a lot of the parts that we need to work on this. It wasn't like we just ran out of parts completely. But let me show you guys how this has to work in order for us to continue working on this mock, or specifically the salt layer. We need to have 5 basic parts. We need the 2x2 white tile, 1x2 white tile, 1x1 white tile, 1x1 white plate, as well as 1x2 white plate. Clearly, we have no 1x2 white plate left. So that meant we had to stop working on it. Well, I guess we didn't have to stop working on it, but we weren't able to continue the salt layer, which was pretty annoying because it would have been so nice to have just this entire row finished. But it is what it is. I have some on the way, so we'll hopefully be able to start working on that pretty soon. Overall, I'm really happy with the way it looks, though. I think the footprints just look beautiful, and I can't wait to see a little bit more of these sections filled up, just so we can have it looking a little bit more complete. I'll also show you guys that we have a lot of the rock work done on all of the sides, so this is just looking beautiful. This was kind of a thing that I was toying around with before we started the mock, and I was like, I don't know if I want to do that, but why not? It'll probably differentiate it a little bit, and I think ultimately it's totally worth it. Like, it doesn't really add a ton to the functionality of the mock. Like, it doesn't really work for any particular purpose for like the battle or anything like that. But I feel it kind of puts the mock on a pedestal. Like, if we just had just a red wall going across, I don't think it would have the same effect. So I'm really happy with the way this looks. We've gotten a lot of progress done. We almost have a table's worth of battle right now, so that's really nice. And we're gonna keep chugging along. We have a lot of those squares to make. I think we're gonna have to make around like 24 of them or so before we get like back to the mountains, and then it's gonna be a little bit different. But for the most part, really happy with the way this has worked out. Then also I wanted to show you guys the prototype that I've been working on. Added a little bit more to it so you can get an idea of what the trenches will look like. So before, I just kind of had the stepping area, and I didn't really have much detail in it. But what I was able to do, since we raised it a little bit, I was able to do this like tile technique in here, so you can see that it still looks like rocks down there, as opposed to just having like bricks stacked up. I just pushed in like a tile at the top and a tile at the bottom, so it's not a full, complete legal connection, but I think it works out pretty well for giving the aesthetic of a rock without having to have like a full 45-degree slope, which would make it go in or come out too far. So I'm really happy with the way that looks, and I'll move these guys out of the way. Oh, he took a jumper with him. So that's kind of the idea that I'm working with for the trench. And then I ordered a bunch of these pipes, so those are going to be going across the entire thing. I was able to integrate the door as well, so that'll lead back to some of the tunnels. I'm not going to do the like tunnels going across the entire MOC like the Battlefront style, because we're not really going to have much of like a ground troops on the ground battle, but we are going to have some tunnels that lead back to the base because they actually take the tunnels from the base to get to the trenches. So that makes sense in the context of the MOC. That makes sense in the context of the movie. So we're going to add those up. And then we're also considering doing something where like you can peel up the ground like coming from where the tunnel would be just so you can see inside of it, because it's not going to be at the edge of the MOC. You're not going to be able to see it once it's covered with the like layer of tiles or anything like that. But we're hopefully going to be able to make it to where that can be pulled up, so anyone who's walking by at the conventions or something like that, they'll be able to see it. And then, of course, had to have the man, the legend, the salt guy. I forget his name. He actually has a name. He's in the visual dictionary. I have to find that out for you guys. I know that's crucial information. But here we got him and the Gareth Edwards cameo over there. He's pulling up the salt from General Emmett. And then, of course, I did a little scene of Poe running into the trench once they pull out the big gun and they crack that door open like an egg. So I'm probably going to be progressively working on this. This is just kind of like the plate I use to get ideas. I'm thinking what I probably want to do next with this is to build up the other side, just to make sure that we have a solid trench idea made before we start building it, so we know what parts we're going to need to order, and then we're going to be able to change things if we have to. And I'm actually really happy with the way it looks now, so I'm pretty confident in proceeding like this. But there's a few like aesthetic changes I'm probably gonna make just to give a little bit more detail. Like I know there's like wires hanging from the walls and things of that sort. So just minor things, but I think the general design of this is gonna work out pretty well for the MOC. So really happy with this, and let me know what you think, guys. Let me know if you think this is a decent trench design. The trench is going to be the most differentiated area on the actual battlefield. Most of the rest of the stuff is just going to be layers and layers and layers of tiles and plates and white stuff, and it's gonna look rather uniform. But over to the trench, things are going to get a little bit more interesting. So it's really important for me to be able to have it look as detailed and as nice as possible. So let me know what you guys think of that. So that's actually pretty much going to finish up the progress that we made on the MOC, guys. I think we got down a pretty substantial amount of stuff. We're going to have to keep banging out more of those little squares and hopefully be able to make a big enough battlefield so we can start at least setting up some of the skimmers and like pose them and start getting like the red line designs in the ground, figure out how that's going to work out. But overall, I am so pleased with the way this looks. I think like the design for the salt, like having it like this, it enables us to have the footprints like this, and it's also going to enable us to be able to have the red lines going through the ground. So I think just this design overall, it was a very smart choice that we went ahead and incorporated into our MOC, and I just can't get enough of this section, man. It looks so nice. It looks so nice. I'm gonna have to make that like my screensaver or something, because really happy with that. Really happy to have the troops right there. And I know some people were asking on the stream if we were going to do the big battering ram gun. No, we're not. It's just too big. I think I mentioned this in the last video, but it is too big, guys. I don't know if you noticed in the movies, but that battering ram, it's about as tall as the AT-AT Walker, so probably a little bit taller, actually. It's somewhere between the height of the AT-AT and the AT-M6. So if we built it out of Lego, it would be about 2 feet tall, and it'd probably be like as wide as these two base plates, because it's really wide as well. And it would just take up too much space in the MOC, like. And for what it's worth, like it wouldn't add as much to the MOC as we would like. It would just kind of be this big structure in the middle that you wouldn't really be able to see from the side because the two walkers are on either side. So for what it was worth, it just didn't make sense for us to try to incorporate that. Plus, since it's not going to be there, we're going to be able to have the troops right here at the very edge of the MOC. I guess, like, if you want to make sense of it, in our MOC, the battering ram would be behind this area, so our MOC actually doesn't even encompass the area of where that gun would be. So I'm not super concerned about that. Hopefully you guys aren't going to be heartbroken that we aren't building that. I didn't think it was that interesting of a design anyways, so that explains why we're not incorporating that. But Thanks for watching, guys. That's pretty much going to finish up this part. All right, guys, that's going to finish up the video for this week. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the progress that we made on the mock. I just have 3 things that I want to get to before we close out this video. First, follow me on Instagram. I do have an Instagram now. It's instagram.com/richboyj, or just my name is richboyj on that. Same as this channel. Go on there, follow me. I'm gonna have a lot of like incremental updates of things that don't necessarily deserve their own video, but it's a lot of fun stuff over there. So go give me a follow. Second, as for the build stream that I'm sure you guys saw that we did the other day, I'm going to try to do a lot more of those. Hopefully we can work out some sort of schedule. If not, I'm going to try to do a better job at giving you guys like better advanced notice about when those are going to pop up. They're not going to always be a surprise stream, so hopefully you guys are going to enjoy that. And then third, if you guys haven't seen it already, go check out the reveal video. So it's not going to be called the reveal video anymore after this. I'm just going to change the name of the video to the Crait Building Series Part 1 or something like that, just to keep it kind of uniform with the episodic nature of this build series. So go check that out. It answers a lot of questions that you might have about the mock. It does a pretty good job at explaining what we hope to accomplish with the mock. So I think that's going to be really enjoyable for you guys. I know it's a really long video. We had to cram essentially like 4 months worth of work and design and things of that sort into one video, but it's totally worth it because it does a really good job at walking you guys through just our design process and everything we took into account when trying to design this mock. That's going to finish out the video, guys. As they always say, if you like what I do, go ahead and support the video by giving it a like, support the channel by giving it a subscribe, and we'll be back again very soon. As I said before, as long as I have something to show you guys, these updates are going to be coming out every Sunday, so I'm glad I'm able to stick with that schedule for at least 1 week. Hopefully we can continue it in the future, and that's pretty much going to be it, guys. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you all again very soon.